Hello. Today we're going to create a V-block. So we have a drawing to start with. We're going to create a 3D model from this, and then we're going to create a drawing from it. So take a screenshot if you want. I'm going to take this and put it on my second screen so I can build using this right here. So let's get started. Now this V-block is actually, I pulled a sample V-block from here, and this is kind of how I am basing mine on. Now I'm not sure of the exact hole locations, but I assumed that the hole locations would be where I put them. So this is from Miss Sumi. Let's get started on the model. We're going to go to OnShape. This is our free subscription. We're going to go create, document, and we're going to name this example 14. All right, we're going to hide this right view and we're going to hide the top view. So just click on those, hit Y for hide, and we're going to click on this front and we're going to pull this guy in. Okay, just click, hold, drag. I'm going to use my middle, hold down your middle mouse button, that does a pan. Scrolly wheel does a zoom in and out, and then the right mouse button does a rotation. So let's get back on front, click on that face right there. All right, so let's create a sketch on here. Sketch on the front plane, okay? And now we will just kind of trace this out, but first we're going to go with a center point rectangle. Always recommend starting from the origin, and we're just going to go with what, close. We don't have to go exactly 113 right now, or 133 right now, but we could just throw this down. So it's 75 by 133. So now I can hit dimension D, and then I can make this, I can click on that left edge, click on this right edge, and then change that to 133. Now it scales here to here, and then pull it off the side at 75. Okay, and now we're gonna put this first little recess inside of here. So we're gonna go over here to grab this corner rectangle. We're just gonna drop in a rectangle like that, and I'm going to do D for dimension, get here to here, and that's gonna be 25. Enter, here to here, another 25. Enter. Now we're going to do a M for trim, and their trim functions right here. Let's click trim. All you're going to do is click, hold, and drag, and that trims the pieces. Okay, so there we are. That's that right there is a dimensional line, so it won't disappear. All right, so we're going to get out of that. We're going to hit uncheck that guard there. We can pull this guy out. Okay, and now we want to create our V shape. So let's hit L for line. And then we'll just click here and then there. Now I want to get out of that. I want to hit L again for another line. I want a straight line up and down. See that little dash line on the right hand side of my cursor? Well, that means I am vertical, so I want that. And it turned black, which means it's fully constrained, which is great. All right, go for D for dimension. We're going to click here to here, and we're going to undo that guy. Control Z to get back out of that. D for dimension, click here, then click here. Now we're going to put in a 45-degree angle, hit enter, and we want to position this guy properly. So our position of this hole is 37.5. So let's hit D. I'm going to go down here and here. Let's make sure that's on. Yep, now it's on. So click there, click here, and then yep, it's 37.5. It's exactly what we want. Perfect. So now we will use our trim function. We're going to trim this, and I hit M to get there. All right, now, okay, it just delayed. M to get that, and then I'm going to mirror this. So let's go over here to this mirror function right here. So mirror, and then it says select a mirror line. So this is the line I want to mirror about. Okay, let's click there. Select the entities to be mirrored. I'm going to click this guy. He's going to rotate this guy, and this guy. All right, so those are the mirrored ones. Now I can left click. Let's hit escape to get out of that. I'm going to hit my M key for trim. We're going to trim these guys, and then we're going to trim this guy right here. Okay, see how it turned blue? So it's kind of unconstrained, but it should be identical to that, so I'm okay with it. Now we're going to put in a couple holes, 9mm holes, and we'll place them. They're going to be 40mm, so just slightly up above. So we click the first one, D for dimension. Let's put a 9 on here, enter. And let's do a another, it's actually still in dimension. Click here to here. This is going to be 40. Enter. And then we're going to basically create another one, a circle. So go back to circle. I'm going to hover over this guy, and then it will allow us to see that orange dotted line. That's a trace line. I want to put one down here. D for dimension. We're going to size that 9. And then we're going to position those guys. So those guys are 35 from center. So D for dimension. I want to see this highlighted. So now I click here, and that's going to be 35. Enter. Then we want to go here to here and pull straight down 35 for that guy. Enter. Okay. Left click out of that, and D to get out of that too. All right. So now we want to build a little whole circle down here. And we're going to click on the circle right there. We're going to click here and D for dimension. We just want to get a size, and the radius is 2.5, so the diameter is 5. Let's go to M. We're going to trim. Okay, and now we want to go L for line. Now we want to grab this edge right here, that point, and I want to go straight up. So I want to see that line on the right hand side. Perfect. Now I want to do the same thing. I can get L to get out of that, and then L to get back in. And you can see it pulling off the side. That's what I want. Straight up and down. And it's going to, yep, perfect. L to get out of that. M for trim. Now we're going to trim this guy. Trim, slide it right through. Trim, slide it right through. Perfect. Okay. So now we want to finish this sketch. Now we're going to do an extrusion. And we're going to extrude this 86 millimeters. So let's grab that extrude. Grab that guy right there. We're going to flip him, and we're going to go in here and type in 86. Enter, green check. All right, so now we have that 3D shape already created. Now we're going to poke some holes in the very top, and what I like to do is I'll just create a new plane on this surface right here. So let's go to sketch, this guy right here, and then I want to hit my top view, and now I want to do an offset. So I'm going to go over here to offset, click on this guy, and we're going to click on this arrow, flip it inside, and we'll choose 10 here. Okay, enter on that guy, and let's try to click this edge, and then this edge, then over here the same edge. Perfect. It doesn't want us to do 2 at the same time, so let's uncheck that guy, just re-choose that. We're going to choose this first one first. Okay, let's left click, and now we can do that again. We can go to offset. We can grab this 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to get into here, and we can see that that is a 5. I want to change it to 10. Enter. Perfect. Left click outside of there. Enter to confirm that, and now we got our whole locations. All right, so I'm going to just build a line in between these. It should be right there, midpoint to midpoint. Perfect. And then C for circle. Let's create a circle here, and we can size these afterwards, just kind of plopping in some circles. I could do you know, copy paste, or a almost like a linear pattern, but I'll just do it this way. This is easier. So then we'll resize these guys. 9, enter. 9, enter. 9, enter. Okay, finish this guy. Now we want to go to extrude, and we can grab that part of the circle, that part of the circle, and this. Don't worry about them facing the other way. We will fix that in a second. Each time it breaks, you have lines going through it, it's going to act like it's a separate object. So now I'm going to do a remove, and then I'm going to tell it to go up to a face, and I want it to go all the way to this back face right here. Okay, let's hit OK. And it did not work. Let's double check why. All right, I want to remove. Let's click on this guy right here. Up to face. That was the problem. Click on that right there. It should blow it through. Remove. Part 1. What is wrong with this? Okay, let me take a look in here. Face of extrude. I think that's the problem right there. Every single one of these says face of sketch. I'm going to get rid of that guy. All right, that was it. Poked all the way through. We're good to go. There we are. All right, so now we're going to put that chamfer on here all the way around. So chamfer that. Click on our faces. It's going to be 1 millimeter. Let's click on these faces here. For some reason, it had an issue with this corner right here. So we can chamfer that afterwards. Looks good. Green check. All right, and now we can add a chamfer to these edges here. Okay, it's having an issue with that. So let's choose those lines individually. So that guy, this guy, this guy. Oh, we can undo that by checking on that guy. Click on that line only, and that line only. I'm going to click on this line down here too. Green check. Looks like we're missing one chamfer on this side. So let's fix that. Let's see what happens if I check that. All right, that works. Perfect. All right, and there we are. So that is your 3D model. Let's hide this. Click on that, hit Y. Let's go to isometric view of it. All right, and now we will create a drawing for it. Hit the little plus, create drawing, ANCB millimeters. Let's click on a part, and we'll click where we want to put it. All right, let's pull this down. Let's do a top view. Let's do a projected view from this. And we'll do an isometric view. Let's click over here, change to isometric, and we'll slap that right over here. All right, let's put it in the boundaries of the print. If we want to make it a little bit smaller, we can double click on that guy and change the scale of that down. Let's say we want to make it 1 to 2. Okay. Let's say green check. Okay. And we can slide up there. All right, so next, let's start dimension this guy. So D for dimension. Let's click on outside lines. $133, $40, and we can escape, double click on that guy, 2x, left click out of that, and I like to put a little space in between there, so space right there. Let me do a Control C over top of that, just to copy it, just in case we gotta do another one. So let's get back to D. We're gonna go from this center point right here to here. Pull that down. Escape to get out of that. Pull this guy down. Pull this guy down. We'll double click on him and we'll put that Control V to paste. Left click. All right. So now let's get the size of this guy. D for dimension. Pull that guy out. Let's hit double click on there. Control V. Click outside. All right. And then we'll click on this guy right here. D. 2.5, and then we'll have that straight up. We know that's 2.5 millimeters too. We're still in dimension. Let's click here to here. We get 90 degrees. Now we're going to click on D, make sure we're on D, get down here to the intersection point of that. Pull that guy out. Click on here. We're going to click to this first edge right here. And then the second edge. D to get out of that. We're going to pull this 75 over, pull the 50 over, put it in proper positioning. We don't want things overlapping. and we want them to all be staggered like that. Looks good. D for dimension. Let's go this wall to here. 15, and then we can escape all that. Double click, Control V. We got that 2 times. Left click. Now we got what else? Total width of this guy. So we got here, all the way outside to here, 85, and then we'll click on here to the first circle, 10, here to the second circle, 43, and then there to the third circle, 76. D to get out of that, pull this guy over, pull that guy over, and we'll reposition him a little better. Pull that guy down, and we got 10. All right, perfect. Now let's choose a position, how far away these are. So we go here to here, 10, and here to here. They're 10. And what size are those? They are D for dimension. There we go. So we got 6 of these. So we're going to go 6x. 6x space. Left click. And last but not least, I think we need to say that there is a chamfer all the way around this guy. So let's click over here. We're going to chamfer dimension, click right there, click here, and it tells me the 1 millimeter chamfer, 45 degrees, and we can add capital all around. Actually, we can Control X to pull it out. We can click it down there, and that's better. Pull this out. Get it positioned properly. There we are. Looks good. That concludes our VBlock 3D modeling and drawing. Thanks for watching. Bye.